Hi guys, I'm MacDoTomato, and today I'm going to be bringing you the top 10 things that Airport City needs to become one of the most awesome games ever seen on Facebook. Now don't get me wrong, Airport City is an absolutely brilliant game, but I feel that there are a few improvements that could be introduced for it to become truly excellent. This top 10 countdown will be based on two criterion, requirement and realism. The first few items on the list will probably be less realistic, considering, after all, Airport City is a Facebook game. However, as we count down through the list, the improvements that I suggest will become more realistic and are probably needed in the game to become more balanced, more fair and more enjoyable. Before we begin this top 10 countdown, however, I would like to offer a quick shout out to Walter Williams, a game moderator for Airport City. His knowledge and insight is extremely valuable. I would like to thank him for his contributions to the Airport City comments section in helping many players for a long time now. In addition, he has helped me to come together and hopefully make some more content for Game Insight in the future. With that, I will be making Airport City videos once every week, usually on Tuesdays. For now though, let's get right into that top 10 countdown. In at number 10, a flight simulator. Yes, this is pretty unrealistic, but imagine if Game Insight could include a flight simulator to allow us to take off and land our very own planes. Realistically, introducing a flight simulator would be very demanding on the game mechanics. However, you could limit this, perhaps maybe to a takeoff or a landing. You could even maybe just consider landing and taking off guest planes if that would work better with the mechanics. I feel that this addition would be incredibly fun and allow players to spend a hell of a lot more time playing the game and maybe even collect more collectibles than they might otherwise have got in the past. In at number 9, actual live crashes. Of course, we're all used to seeing that the plane's breaking down and having to click on the repair base, only to find that we don't quite have the items. I feel that the breakdown system would be made a lot better if we could actually see the planes crash. Obviously, in real life, a plane crash is absolutely dreadful, but this is just a game, right? In at number 8, first-person city camera. In a rather similar model to SimCity 2013, a first-person city camera could be introduced into the game to allow players to walk around their created cities and marvel at their artwork. Once again, I stress that this is a difficult task to perform for Game Insight, seeing as first-person city cameras would require lots of modelling and probably use up quite a lot of game mechanics. However, I feel that it would be a fun addition to the game. Alternatively, you could also have a player walk around his airport, stand on the middle of the runway, and watch as the plane crushes him. I'm not sure that would be so very nice though. This next set in the top 10 is a little bit more realistic, however I don't feel that they will be incredibly game-breaking enough to make them top tier. That being said, these improvements would certainly be viable additions to the game should Game Insight choose or indeed have the power to implement them. So in at number 7, we would like to see episode 3 of the story. A lot of players have been complaining about this for a long time now, where episode 2 has been finished for ages and people would like to see a continuation of the main campaign story. I trust that Game Insight is perhaps working on this, however I'm pretty sure that this is not on their list of priorities, considering some of the other things on this list that might be considered better additions to the game. At number 6, choose a guest plane to land. I feel that choosing a particular guest plane to land would be an absolutely fantastic addition to the game. For instance, if you're trying to go for one of the guest plane collectibles, or something like that, maybe trying to go for one of the big collections to net yourself some extra coins and experience points. If you're trying to attempt all the Delta flights, but all the guest planes you're landing are jumbos, then they're basically useless. In addition, I feel that it would be nice to be able to choose whether to land passengers or fuel, depending on what your needs are. If you're maxed out on fuel, then landing guest planes that give you an extra unit of fuel is not really going to be that beneficial to you in the short term. Number 5. Spray paint planes. Ever been jealous at those guest planes that land with all those beautiful colours? I certainly am. It'd be incredible if they could have a building that allowed you to paint, colorise or customise the planes that you have purchased. Obviously you could include a small cost to this, perhaps some coins, or if Airport City so desire, airport cash. However, a spray painting of planes would be a fantastic customization and allow players to further implement more customizations onto their airport, making it feel more like their own. So we've reached the top 4 now, and these are some of the items or improvements that I would like to see in the game that I feel would be game changing and make a lot of players' playing enjoyability much better. Counting down to the number 1 then, we'll start at number 4 with green cash for top 100s. Whilst the top 100 charts are really good and the prizes at the end, depending on how you do, are half decent, I feel that there could be a bigger incentive for some of the higher rankings. Yes, if you finish first, 3,000 coins, 800 experience and a large golden chest is rather nice. However, to reward players for even further effort, I feel that perhaps maybe targets could be introduced into the game. For instance, any player who flies over 100 flights or something like that to a particular destination maybe receives 2 or 3 green cash to help them along. This could be a great incentive and perhaps increase some of the competition when flying for top 100 positions. Number 3. Balance Research Lab conversions. The Research Lab for me is a thorn in my side. Half of the time I never actually use it because half of the items it's proposing to convert are actually items I need or only have 1 or 2 of. I feel that it might be better if the Research Lab maybe had a mechanic that could allow you to choose what items to convert and then give you an item that you don't already have at the end to make it more useful. Yes, I understand that this is probably quite difficult to program. However, it would be a lot better and a lot easier for players, and it would allow us to make better use of the Research Lab, as for me, half the time, it is virtually idle. Number 2. Building Search. Anyone ever had that mission where you have to visit 999 mega malls? How about you're trying to complete a collection? For instance, maybe one of the space collections, or maybe visiting Mexican restaurants. However, one snag: if you're visiting friends or neighbours, you can't find their buildings. A building search tool would be absolutely super in helping with this. More often than not, we visit friends and neighbours only to realise that there was a building that we might have wanted to visit instead of clicking on the labyrinth that yields no collectibles. Introducing a building search would completely remove this problem. Maybe you could type in a particular building and it light up in a certain colour on the map, depending on whether it's related to it or whether it's that exact building. This would help visiting, this would also help collections in our own cities, and make life a hell of a lot easier as opposed to stressing and finding them buildings. Number 1. Alliance Leagues. The alliance system, whilst it's relatively good, is also really bad. Lower league alliances have no chance at all of competing in the alliance system that currently exists, meaning essentially that existing alliances of lower caliber are basically useless. An alliance league system would be a perfect addition to the game. This would allow lower alliances to still go for the collectible items, the maps, and all the collections that are associated with the alliances. You could, instance, have a promotion and relegation system where maybe the top 4 or 5 alliances in a particular league are promoted to the next one, and the worst ones relegated to the previous one. You could still have collectible items for the winners of the lower leagues. However, you could make a system where the top league and the top alliances win bigger and bigger prizes because they're in the highest league, whereas maybe the lowest league maybe just yields a couple of maps or some coins and all that stuff. The promotion in itself is a prize for getting out of the league and allows alliances to compete with other alliances of the same level for the same prizes. This, I believe, would be a much fairer system for the Alliance League. Thanks for watching. Should Game Insight choose to share this video on their timeline, very big thanks to you and all. Also, big thank you to all the players and surveys that I have carried out to understand what players want from the game. In addition, thank you to everyone who comments on the Airport City Facebook page, as gathering that data has been extremely useful in making this top 10. If you've enjoyed this content, please feel free to like, comment and subscribe for future videos. And should you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments section below, either on Facebook or on YouTube. Any additional ideas, requests or tips, please feel free to message me at any time. Thanks for watching, happy flying.